After slapping Hortensia with our bonds, the brainwashing is undone, yet the girl is so emotionally out there that she still wants to return to her fell dragon run Illusia. Though after some consolation from Ivy, she changes her mind and presents us the Ring of the Instructor as an apology, and within, we awaken Emblem Byleth. Queen Sephoria returns to us unharmed, giving her thanks to Alir for the house cleaning, and briefly scolds the Illusion princesses before pardoning their crimes. Once that's concluded, we receive a much needed cash infusion from Solm, reinvesting it back to get the Brave Axe, and investing in Illusia too and getting the Bolganon tome. With the remaining funds, I purchase a few new weapons, staves, and 3 Master Seals. We engrave the Academy emblem onto a spear, then I promote Jean into a Martial Master, Fogado into Cupido, and Timera into Picket. We have the Ring of the Instructor now, so we can gacha on the 3 Houses banner which spits out the Dimitri S Bond ring with the Paraceline skill. We have the 2 Sentence C bonds with Alir and Lucina, as well as Louis and Ike. Then it's onto a long slew of support conversations. First, Panette initiates Alir into the art of throwing hands. Yeah, this C support is that simple. Ivy is Alir's personal space violator number I've lost count, though she's acting distant at the same time, prompting Alir to request some communication of Ivy's feelings. However, she coldly maintains their metaphysical distance, and then puts actual physical distance between them. Alir learns Timera has quite the appetite, based on the amount of meat she's grilled as her portion, and gives praise, which excites Timera into making a racket, announcing to the nearby bandits of her presence, intentionally becoming bait so the duo can do a bit of cleanup. Clan dutifully followed Alir's orders to rest from their B-rank support, and is feeling better now compared to then, reflecting on his slight failure as a steward for causing worry. Even so, Alir is thankful for his hard work, causing Clan to cry at the acknowledgement, and vows to keep helping us out, without pushing himself too hard. Oh hey, we've got another personal space violator in Merrin this time, still intently recording Alir's behaviours, which is enough to irritate him and draw a line in the sand that yes, he's a dragon, but again, doesn't appreciate the objectification, causing Merrin to profusely apologise, to the point she'll stop writing her book. Alcris catches Ivy staring at his armour, as illusions are taught to watch out for Brodian armour due to their hostile relations, which Alcris apologises for, eliciting Ivy's sadistic side, escalating the situation as if a formal declaration was made, causing Alcris to stutter and clarify that it was a personal apology. Of course, Ivy knew that and apologises for the teasing, but points out that the two have become much closer than before. Alcris vows once again to protect his retainer, and Lapis recounts this is the 3rd time this situation has occurred. While Lapis appreciates the sentiment, she'd rather not get their roles twisted. Ivy asks Louis why he's always a cheerful fellow, and he cheerfully declares this is his default expression, leaving an impression on the reserved Ivy, initiating Louis' curiosity on her lack of cheer, where he's enthralled by the image of Ivy in the smile with friends. While Ivy is a bit put off by Louis' imagination, she goes on his journey of finding what can make this illusion princess smile. Merrin and Panette are about to do some singing practice, but the latter is reluctant after hearing of their reputation as the racket of Solm. The duo reminisces on how they've been told they are bad singers, and it was Timera that praised their uniqueness, giving the two a false sense of improvement. After all that, we travel to Solm's northern fortress to claim the Ring of the Crux of Fate. We see a dancer within the ruins praising the venue as a perfect practice area until they are noticed by a few corrupted. As he's lamenting his situation, he hears a mysterious voice that commands him to follow. Outside, Alir takes notice of the noise, Timera sees the presence of the corrupted, and they quickly rush into the fortress, finding the dancer named Seadoll in dire straits, who is now in possession of the unawakened Emblem ring, leading into preparations where we have a deceptively small map with an escape point below our position, and most of the area is obscured until we break open the doors along the way. The corrupted in the room to our right aren't that special aside from being level capped base classes, and as for Seadoll, He's not an optional recruitment, so we'll need to get to him fast before his dance partners trip him to death. I put away Yanaka, Fogado and Temera for Hortensia, Merrin and Panette, making sure that Hortensia doesn't have any items on. Don't worry about him. Clan is given the Bolganon tome, and we buy a Levin sword for Merrin. Ivy is presented with Byleth, and I put Dimitri S on Jean. Everyone is put into position, and we begin the map, where Seedal must escape for our victory. To begin, I haphazardly send over the party into the next room, while also making poor use of Byleth's goddess stance, and due to that bold maneuver, the Corrupted couldn't agree on who to target, despite the fact they could have killed someone if they ganged up on them. We're able to sweep all of them up by turn 3, and recruit Seedal too, as well as awaken Emblem Corrin, who will be Seedal's partner for the rest of the map. This also triggers the next room to open, and the entrance to close, forcing us to explore the fortress. Seedal highlights the purple miasma tiles that give units on them -20 defense and resistance if they're an ally, or +20 if they're an enemy. These tiles can be dispelled with Corrin's Dragon Vein ability, but I don't realise that until much later, as I assumed that only her engage attack can do it. More on Seedal, he's in the Dancer class, meaning he's a damn good unit, having access to the dance action to allow an adjacent ally to act again, and his personal skill makes him a healing totem too. Anyways, Merrin rushes into the new room on turn 4, eviscerating a Corrupted in there before being rescued out. Reinforcements appear, but even though they're in the miasma, we're able to take the closest one down by utilising backup attacks on turn 5, and thereafter on turn 7, Seedal uses Corrin's engage attack Torrential Roar to slow down the enemy advance and get rid of some of the miasma. Wherein, turn 8, we clean out the room with Alchrist, Alir and Merrin, with Alchrist learning his class skill, Luna, on his last kill. We break down the door to the northern corridor on turn 9, set Merrin to bait the closest 4 enemies, and then we swiftly dispatch them on turn 10, with Alir, Merrin, Clan and Panette. For turn 11, Ivy and Merrin aggro the next quartet, with Merrin eliminating one of the mages. Turn 12, Alir takes down the other mage, and learns his class's Divine Spirit skill. With Seedal's help, Merrin rushes to the Corrupted Swordmaster's side, Louis is warped into the front lines with Jean's help, so he can reposition Seedal to safety, and then Alchrist Astrostorms the Sword Fighter to death. Merrin lives another turn, then on turn 13, Ivy and Clan dispatch the Swordmaster. We then break the southern door, revealing 2 Corrupted with silver axes and a chest, and again, Merrin is set to be the bait after Seedal refreshes her. Merrin gets struck, but that's okay, as on turn 14, Alir destroys one of those Corrupted, and Clan submerges the other one, to learn his class skill, Chaos Style. They move Louis down so he eventually gets the Emblem Energy tile. Merrin opens the chest to claim the energy drop inside. Ivy breaks open the eastern door, revealing a more open-ended room consisting of 4 lance units and 4 mages. We don't send anyone inside immediately as to not aggro the enemy, but as turn 15 starts, warrior reinforcements appear from the stair tiles earlier in the map, packing scary offences and bulk, while wielding killer axes to boot. Taking Alfred's advice to skedaddle, we blitz into the next room with Ivy as the bait this time, and it was a close call as I had not expected her to be taking 3 attackers at once. But she lives onto turn 16 and the enemy get 2 more warrior reinforcements, this time with tomahawks. We're able to take down one of the mages with Merrin, and get some hefty damage on one of the Corrupted in the miasma with Panette. Alchrist takes the Emblem Energy tile in the corner, Jean heals Merrin, and is then refreshed by Seedal so he can also heal Ivy. Ivy engages and goddess dances Merrin and Seedal, so Merrin can charge ahead with Hortensia to take some heat off everyone else, while we finally have Seedal utilize Corrin's Dragon Vein ability to conjure up terrain effects based on class type, and in Seedal's case, he's able to summon ice pillars, and yeah, the turn after this is when I realized it could dispel miasma too. Panette obliterates one of the Corrupted, Seedal takes the brunt of the remaining attacks but lives. And oh no, Hortensia is downed, whatever shall I do?
As bad as this looks, I've gotta stop fighting. Illugia
Sephoria may have been merciful, but I am not, and at least Hortensia can't cause any problems for us in the future, right? Turn 17, with the air cleared on the pillar tile, Panette steps on it and fails to fish for a crit on the mage to her left. Jean stays 2 tiles away from Seadoll and heals them with the physics staff. This is so Alir can get between them and make 11 sword attack to fill his engage meter, so he can engage immediately and protect his surrounding allies with bondage shield after Seadoll refreshes him. Ivy heals Panette, Clan and Merrin get some chip damage in via Alir and Panette's backup attacks, and Alchrist engages to set up his doubles in the corner. Overall, Panette takes a lot of damage from the backup hits, but she's mostly fine because of Alir's protection, and she's able to kill one of the mages because of it. Turn 18, we almost finish off the corrupted in the room, starting with Merrin dicing the mage that foolishly wandered out of the miasma. Jean moves to heal Seadoll, giving him space to engage, and Torrential Roar, the pair of corrupted. Alchrist takes out one of the drenched foes. Then Alir bondage shields again just in case. Panette and Ivy clear out the Lancer and the miasma. Then Clan almost evaporates the last foe, which is weakened a bit more by Seadoll on the enemy phase, before Panette deals the final hit on turn 19 and learns the Berserker class skill Smash Plus. While we could go rushing into the final room, I decide not to as we've got the warriors a few steps behind us now. Thankfully, I had Louis ready there to take the first few hits, and totally not because I forgot about him a few turns ago. Turn 20, Merrin moves out to dodge tank for the enemy phase, as Louis engages to prepare Great Ether. Clan deals a respectable amount of damage with Alir's backup hit and personal skill on the closest warrior, and is later frozen by Ivy after she obstructs a tile to funnel the corrupted into Great Ether. Then, Jean heals Louis. Only 2 of the corrupted are slammed by Great Ether on turn 21, and Panette gets the kill on the first warrior. Then she is refreshed to retreat. For the next few turns, Ivy continually obstructs the corridor in a diagonal position from whoever's tanking to maintain a temporary 1-tile choke point. Initially we do it with Louis, bulking him up with the HP tonic, but he takes way too much damage, even with Lagu's friend and his chunky 29 defense. So for turn 22, Alchrist gets to one of the Emblem energy tiles in our room with Seadoll's help, while Merrin takes tanking duty. With our new position, Alir is attacked by one of the Tomahawks, but Jean is there to chain guard while the other Tomahawk successfully strikes Merrin, leaving nothing for the last corrupted to target other than the Ice Pillar. Turn 23, Alchrist returns to engage and set up core doubles, and Ivy and Jean heal Merrin from a distance, with Ivy getting refreshed to set up the pillar again. Merrin tries to get some poison in, but she's unlucky with the enemy retaliation, and that luck continues into the enemy phase, where she's slain by the Tomahawk duo, which leaves the last corrupted to Donkalia. We go back to before Merrin attacked, deal some chip damage with Clan, and heal Louis with the Vulnerary. All of this was done on the previous timeline too. The only difference now is Merrin not attacking, and that was enough to alter fate somehow, especially in comparison to the last times I've had to do this. Anyway, on turn 24, we slay one of the Tomahawk warriors with Clan, Louis and Ivy. Jean moves down to heal Louis, so Seadoll can refresh Ivy. Alir gives space for Alchrist to do a longbow shot that nearly kills the other Tomahawk unit, and the last hit is dealt by Alir on Panette's attack. Ivy's meter got filled on her last move, so she engages to Goddess Stance Louis, Alchrist and Seadoll. Louis moves towards the remaining foe and heals up. Seadoll refreshes Jean so they can heal Merrin, who can then protect Panette. Finally, Alchrist deletes half of the last warrior's HP, and in that warrior's last moments, they strike Louis, only to be left at their mercy after Panette and Alir's attacks on turn 25. Cool, that's the hard part out of the way. The next few turns are spent on getting to the next door, decontaminating the miasma in front of it before busting into the final room and setting up the good ol' Merrin lore on turn 28, where she nearly eliminates one of the corrupted. She retreats on turn 29 to help defend alongside Louis, who destroys 2 more corrupted and learns the general class skill, Swap. Turn 30, Merrin defeats the Swordmaster in front of her with Okras, Clan and Delir's help, while Panette takes care of the one in front of Louis. Louis engages to set up Great Ether, and Panette is refreshed to position herself behind Merrin and conducts a Tomahawk duel with the boss on the enemy phase, while the archers snipe at Merrin. Great Ether activates on turn 31, hitting one of the archers and breaking the boss's revival stone, as well as showing it can dispel the miasma too. Clan finishes the weakened archer, while Panette and Merrin slay the boss. The remaining archer takes a bit longer to deal with, but it inevitably falls on turn 32. Turn 34, Clan picks up the treasure chest on the left containing a talisman, and as much as I'd like to keep Seadoll dancing until he can't earn any more EXP, this performance has gone for long enough, so we make him exit stage right on turn 35.